Well, he hasn't got around to appointing an ambassador to Australia. I have noted that. Let me just go back to Steve Bannon's comment, though, that Australia really lost a lot of credibility with conservative Americans during COVID because of our response to the pandemic. Do you agree with that assessment?
Yes, no, I think that's very true. And our political class here like to posture on how brave the experiment in popular control was and the rollout of the COVID vaccine. In the United States, which also has a federal system, their federal system played it really very differently. I was in Wyoming, the reddest of red states, at the tail end of COVID in 2022. There, the mask mandate lasted a matter of days before popular discontent meant it couldn't be enforced. That notion of what Australia is, the opposite of that it sucks up to government, that we need government in a way which is in opposition, I think, to where America came from. That's born against government, against the same government in the late 18th century, whereas we sought government protection because of our distance. America sought to free itself from it. Trump is not a big reader of history, but I think he gets instinctively that the American system is predicated on a different understanding of government power, even though he rather likes from time to overuse that power.
Well, that segues nicely to the other thing I wanted to ask you about, and that's Trump threatening to use his power, whether militarily or financially, to take hold of Greenland. He's told reporters, "You'll find out," when asked how far he will go. But he's also said we'll work something out regarding Greenland as he heads to Davos to face NATO leaders. All the while, he's ramping up tariff threats against key European allies. Macron has pushed back, warning against new imperialism, and the EU is hinting at major trade retaliation. So it's all happening. What do you take from Trump saying we'll work something out? Is that a climb down, or is this just classic Trump? He'll go hard, then he'll go soft, and eventually he'll sort of get you to a point where you'll agree to what he believes is best for the US.
Oh, I think we've known Trump long enough now to know what classic Trump is, and he's entering his zenith. I mean, I think I've said for the whole of the first year of the second term that this is likely to be the most activist, the most interventionist. That's carried over, of course, into the second year of this second term with the deposing of regimes in his own backyard, last year the attacking of Iran. He has an understanding of world politics, which we need a kind of 19th century great man template to try and understand. He sees himself in a tradition that goes back to people like Napoleon, in an American example, someone like Andrew Jackson, who's prepared to stick it to the old sources of power. You remember Andrew Jackson, the guy that had hair almost as flamboyant as Donald Trump. He waged a war against Spain to free Florida from Spanish control. There is a long history in the United States of seizing territory back from the old imperialists. Now, I don't think that Trump reads those history books, but he has imbibed a certain understanding that territory counts. I mean, this is a millennia-old imperative of great power politics, and he seems to be a modern reinvention of it. And we lack the vocabulary in our campuses and in our journals and in the elite class to understand a man who doesn't see international law as the moral arbiter, but sees violence and force, these ancient tools of power. They've come to the fore, and we need a new vocabulary to try and understand them.
You kind of lost me at flamboyant hair, because I just thought that would be a wonderful thing to have, Tim. But and you know, you talk about Trump with the idea of the great man leader. I don't know, in Australia, gee, we'd love someone who was even approaching that sort of description. It's interesting times. It's very interesting watching Donald Trump. Tim Lynch, fascinating to talk with you. Thanks so much for your time tonight.